Hi guys, welcome back to the old mill shed. So today we are repairing an old Craftsman, I guess it's still a C3 inflator. It's the old 19.2 volt system. I've had these for 20 plus years. Got them very shortly after my wife and I got married, and they're still working, so I hadn't replaced them. But this thing here, the hose used to be a lot longer, and every time I use it here lately, this pops out. See if we can fix that. Okay guys, so I know the bench is crowded today. You can see I'm got some stuff laid out here for another video I'm working on for y'all. So how this thing goes together is you have this hose, this little grommet, this slides in it, and then this nut, plastic nut, actually goes on like this, and this holds this, supposed to hold this into this little cup area in here, and then that plastic piece threads in to this right here. Unfortunately, the problem is when you use it and you get a little bit of pressure on this thing just pops right out. Now of course it popped out easily then because nothing's attached, but even when I'm using it, it's not helping much. And you can also see that little end right there is collapsed down. Let's see if that's... yeah. Okay. So what we're going to attempt to do, is put this new hose on here. It's about, I don't know, 18 inches, 2 feet long. But it's threaded on this end. And that should solve our problem. Okay guys, so this is basically what I came up with. And yes, I know this doesn't match any technical drawing standards. It's just something I drew out quick. Don't be too hard on me. This part here will go back to the inflator, 50 thousandths thick flange for the nut to catch on to hold everything together, and then we're just going to drill and tap that out there. So I don't even know what this through drill is going to be yet. Probably 3/16 if I had to guess. Well, I guess it really can't be 3/16. We'll figure it out. And then this is the critical part. We need to figure out what thread pitch is required. So let's work on that. Okay guys, so first thing we need to do is figure out how many threads per inch we have. Got my thread gauge here. I've already got 32 pulled out because it looks like a 32 to me. And it is. So I'm going to assume that it's probably, well, it's definitely too big to be a 10. And 5/16 only has 18 and 24. And it looks like it's close to a 5/16 size. But 5/16 fine thread's 24. Let's see if it's metric. Try this M81. Well, I thought that was it, but it's not. It's close. Let's try M8 125. No, that's not it. Huh. Well, I wonder. You notice this thing does look like a bit like a Schrader valve, doesn't it? And they got this weird pitch on them. I happen to have a tire valve tool. Let's see if that'll fit. That's it. Alright. So this is a Schrader valve thread, or Schrader thread, or so that thread right there that fits this part here is a thread that's called 8V132. I think I may have a tap for that. So I looked out, scrounged around in my spare tap and die box, and I found one. About 10 years ago, I was mad because I had to buy this tap. I was putting the radiant floor system in my house, and Bedford County said I had to pressurize it to 100 pounds, 120 pounds, something insane, to make sure that it would hold pressure. Now this is on a system that runs about 3 pounds of pressure in normal use. So I had to make an adapter to hook the air hose up to, because a lot of the stuff that was on the market would leak. So I had to turn an adapter down, which necessitated me to buy this tap. 10 years later, I'm glad I had to do that. Okay guys, so I don't know which drill bit to use for this. It's not on any of my charts, so a trick to use to find the correct drill for a tap is, if it's a coarse thread, you take the OD of that thread, in this case 303 thousandths, and you times it by 0.85 or 85%. If it's a fine thread, which 32 threads per inch is, then you multiply it by 0.9 or 90%. And that gives us 272 thousandths and 7 tenths. Well, if I go to my decimal equivalent chart, 6.9 millimeter is 271,007 tenths. The letter I drill is 272 thousandths, and a 7 millimeter drill is 275,006 tenths. So the letter I is only 7 tenths of a thousandths under optimal. So it's the closest drill that we have. So an 8V1 by 32 thread uses a letter I drill bit. Okay, so got some CR, I think it's 360. We're going to put in here, make it out of. First thing I want to do is mark my material. Actually, the first thing I want to do is put some safety glasses on. Okay guys, so I ended up changing the plans just a little bit. I didn't bore y'all with just taking passes, you know. It took me about 30 minutes to get to here. This machine doesn't have a lot of power, so you have to take it slow, but I decided just to machine it to fit inside of the nut here. And so we're at about 560 thousandths, thereabouts, 562 maybe. So what we'll start doing now is machining down the end that will stick through here. Okay guys, here's my setup to make sure that I get back to the same place every time. You're starting to hit to the critical points. And for those y'all are wondering, this is a Smithy 220 XL. Um, Not my favorite machine. I think I picked this up for, I think, $750, maybe 10, 12 years ago. It does have it's a 3-in-1 machine, so you can mill with it too. I build a business off of, but definitely great for a small shop, like a tool shed or something's all you got. You have tight space. I'm sure there are better machines out there. Okay, so we're at about 478, 479. I'm a thou or two under the target I was shooting for, but that's fine for this. Now we need to figure out if we want to drill this side first, or do we want to go ahead and make our whole outside the adapter first. I'm going to say let's go ahead and drill this side and tap it, or at least get it ready to tap, and then we'll part this off and we'll turn the back side. So whenever you're getting ready to do an operation that doesn't involve your tool post, run it to where you want it to be, lock everything down, and make sure all of your drive handles are in neutral. That way you won't accidentally ram this into your chuck. That gets expensive. Here's my letter I drill bit. Now what we just did was we center drilled. Turn it back over here. There we are. We just center drilled right in there. So what that does is when my big drill bit goes in, it's going to automatically drill to the center. It's not going to shoot out of the side or lead off or something like that, or at least that's the theory behind it. Let's see how far we got here. Should be 500 thousandths. Huh, it is. Okay. So we can lead in a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to look at my scale here. Take this off fine needle. Go to the 1-inch mark. All right, there we go. Alright, so this bit isn't the best, even though it's brand new. It's a company I'm not sharp. Might just be off center, maybe the tin coating got built up on the face of it a little bit. Alright, but anyway, so that's drilled and ready to tap now. So we have our tap drill hole here. It's down just right up to the edge of where that shoulder is. Now we're going to remove the drill from a tailstock, put in my cutoff tool, and part this off. So what I just did here is I touched off on my x-axis and I re-zeroed my x-axis dial on my cross feed. Really can't see it from either one of these angles. I want to turn you back down here so you can kind of see this whole area better. So what we're going to do, we're going to take this down to 330. Now I was going to go to 290, but I was measuring the part of the hose that had gone in a little bit, and that wouldn't be correct. I need to do the part of the hose that was at the full diameter of the smaller hose. So we're going to turn this down to 330. I'm going to take a couple passes here and see where I'm at, and then we're just going to ease it in and hopefully not overshoot our target. Now, when you get this close to the head, I'm going to put my feed, you can't see from either one of those. Let's see here. Take it. So you want to put your feed into low gear. So when you engage this doesn't slam into that. Alright, so it looks like we got a storm on the way, so hopefully we can get this done before I have to stop. So I want to take this down to 330. Let's go. When I said half a pass, what I really meant is I was taking 20 thousandths each pass, which is 20 thousandths on this side, 20 thousandths on this side, because it's turning. So a full pass was actually 40 thou, and it was supposed to be 40 thou. And when I said half a pass, all I meant was I was just taking about half of my normal cut. So I'm at 350 now. So we're going to take another light pass or two. The reason I'm having to sneak up on it, this dial is not that great. It's made for milling and lathing together. So you really got to pay attention to what you're doing with this one, because it will throw you off really easy. So 350. All right. Let's see here. All right, let's see where we're at here. 330 is a target, and 329. we're going to call that good enough. That's not like I can add 1,000ths back to it if it wasn't, is it? Okay, let's see if this will go up in there. Looks like it does. Let's measure the OD of this. That's measuring at 490. The cup here is measuring at 450. So we have 40 thousandths interference. Okay. That might be no bueno. Let's go ahead and take another skim cut off. I don't think that's going to work. Let's knock that little burr off right there to see if we can get this to go for just a little easier. Oh yeah, I think that's going to work a lot better. Let's check our. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, we can always, just a little bit more off of it. Once we get everything done. So what I want to do now is, I don't know if any of y'all have ever used PEX tubing before, but you know these little fittings you put in there, excuse me, you get the little ribs on it. I want to put something like that in here. It's not going to be very precise. I'm just going to use my cutoff tool, and I will go in about 20 thou a side and just put 2 or 3 little ribs in here to help seal against this. Seal on the inside of this as we are putting it into the inflator. So take this off. Clean off our mating surfaces. And I don't even know if I really need this or not, but let's get this square. Right, so there's little ribs here. And what we'll do now is we will center drill this, and then we will drill all the way through it. I'm probably use a 3/32 or something. It's not a lot of airflow going through it. Okay, so given the size of this and the grooves and everything in there, and I want to make sure nothing gets crushed or anything, we're going to use a 5/32 drill bit to drill this side over here. So it's always nice to have a nice little chamfer there. I'm actually going to run this a little deeper than normal. Now what we're going to do with this 5/32 drill bit is we're actually going to drill all the way through, because this is what the air is going to pass through to get to that hose that we're putting in on the other side. Which, after we drill this, we'll test fit it And then we will tap the other side over there. And aside from the tapping, we have a part that's ready to go. I am going to dress this up a little bit. I don't like that. Okay guys, you're either getting ready to see me modify this cap and basically be done with this project, or you're about to see an epic screw up. You're probably getting ready to see an epic screw up. Yeah, I think that'll work nicely. Okay guys, so here we go. I did forget to turn the camera on when I tapped that, but it's just running a tap through a drilled hole. There's nothing really special there. So there's our brass piece in the nut. Let's put this on there. And let's see if we can get this to go together. There we go. Alright. I don't think that's going to slip out on us anymore. I don't know if I need Teflon tape for this or not, but we'll find out. Alright. Well, I'm going to say that this was a success. Good for another 20 years. Okay guys, hope y'all enjoyed that. I actually am shooting a video on how to do electrical tests, and it was nasty outside today. Got thunderstorms supposed to be rolling in and everything, so I didn't really want to be out in that mess doing the tests for y'all and all. That'll be coming up probably next video. Also got some updates on the generator. So I'm going to try to start releasing a video about every 2 weeks. I bought a bunch of cameras and everything. A lot of them didn't work out, so I can't keep waiting. So we're just going to go ahead with what we've got. So see you next time under the shed. Hey Jeff, told you I still had her, buddy. Going on what, 13, 14 years now? But yeah, she still does a good job for us.